Narayanam namaskritya Naram chaiva narottamam Devim saraswatim vyasam Tato jayamudiraye Nashtaprayeshu bhadreshu Nityam bhagavata sevaya Bhaktir uttama shloke Bhaktir bhavati naishtaki.
So we read from Canto 5, Chapter 19, verse number 26, Srimad Bhagavatam. Yehi Shraddhaya Bharkishi Bhagasho Have
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 Niruktamishtam Vidhi Mantra Vastutaha
Niruktamishtam Vidhi Mantra Vastutaha
Niruktamishtam Vidhi Mantra Vastutaha
Niruktamishtam Vidhi Mantra Vastutaha
Eka Pritan Namabhir Ahuto Buddha
Eka Pratanam Vir Ahuto Muda
Eka Pritan Namabhir Ahuto Buddha
Eka Pratanam Vir Ahuto Muda
Grinati Purna Swayam Ashisham Prabhu
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 Yehi Shraddhaya Bharkishi Bhagasho Have
Yehi Shraddhaya Bharkishi Bhagasho Have
Niruktamishtam Vidhi Mantra Vastutaha
Niruktamishtam Vidhi Mantra Vastutaha
Eka Pritan Namabhir Ahuto Buddha
Eka Pratanam Vir Ahuto Muda
Grinati Purna Swayamashisham Prabhu
Grinati Purna Swayam Ashisham Prabhu
Yehi Shraddhaya Bharkishi Bhagasho Have
Yehi Shraddhaya Bharkishi Bhagasho Have
Niruktamishtam Vidhi Mantra Vastutaha
Niruktamishtam Vidhi Mantra Vastutaha
Eka Pritan Namabhir Ahuto Buddha
Eka Pratanam Vir Ahuto Muda
Grinati Purna Swayamashisham Prabhu
Grinati Purna Swayam Ashisham Prabhu Ye Shraddhaya Bharkishi Bhagasho Have
Yehi Shraddhaya Bharkishi Bhagasho Have
Niruktam Ishtam Vidhi Mantra Vastutaha
Niruktamishtam Vidhi Mantra Vastutaha
Eka Pratanam Vir Ahuto Muda
Eka Pritan Namabhir Ahuto Buddha
Grinati Purna Swayam Ashisham Prabhu
Grinati Purna Swayamashisham Prabhu
Yahi Shraddhaya Bharkishi Bhagasho Have
Yehi Shraddhaya Bharkishi Bhagasho Have
Niruktamishtam Vidhi Mantra Vastutaha
Niruktamishtam Vidhi Mantra Vastutaha
Eka Pritan Namabhir Ahuto Muda
Eka Pratanam Vir Ahuto Muda
Grinati Purna Swayamashisham Prabhu
Grinati Purna Swayam Ashisham Prabhu
Ye Shraddhaya Bharkishi Bhagasho Have
Ye Shraddhaya Bharkishi Bhagasho Have
Niruktamishtam Vidhi Mantra Vastutaha
Niruktamishtam Vidhi Mantra Vastutaha
Eka Prithanam Bhirahuto Muda
Eka Pratanam Vir Ahuto Muda
Grinati Purna Swayamashisham Prabhu
Grinati Purna Swayam Ashisham Prabhu
What all means? Yehi
Yehi.
by whom?
By whom?
The inhabitants of Bharatavarsha.
The inhabitants of Bharatvarsha
Shraddhaya,
Shraddhaya,
faith and confidence.
faith and confidence
Bharkishi,
Bharkishi,
in the performance of daily ritualistic sacrifices.
in the performance of the ritualistic sacrifices
Bhagashaha,
Bhargashah,
by division.
by division
Havihi,
Havihi,
oblations.
oblations
Niruktam,
Niruktam,
offered.
offered
Ishtam,
Ishtam,
to the desired deity.
to the desired deity,
Vidihi, by the proper method. Mantra, by reciting mantras. Vastutaha, with the proper ingredients. Ekaha, that one supreme personality of Godhead. Pritha, separate. Namabihi, by names. Ahutaha, called. Muda, with great happiness. Grinati, he accepts. Purnaha, the Supreme Lord, who is in full in himself. Swayam, personally. Ashisham, of all benedictions. Prabhu, the bestower. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, Sri Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Translation: in India, Bharatavarsha, there are many worshippers of the demigods. The various officials appointed by the Supreme Lord, such as Indra, Chandra, and Surya, all of whom are worshipped differently. The worshippers offer the demigods their oblations, considering the demigods part and parcel of the whole, the Supreme Lord. Therefore, the Supreme Personality of Godhead accepts these offerings and gradually raises the worshippers to the real standard of devotional service by fulfilling their desires and aspirations. Because the Lord is complete, He offers the worshippers the benedictions they desire, even if they worship only part of His transcendental body. Purport. In Bhagavad Gita 9:30, Lord Krishna says, Mahatmanastu Mampata Daivi Prakritimashita Bhajantyananna Manaso Gyatva Bhutadim Avyayam. O son of Pita, those who are not deluded, the great souls, are under the protection of the divine nature. They are fully engaged in devotional service because they know me as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, original and inexhaustible. Mahatmas, advanced devotees, worship only the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Others, however, who are also sometimes called Mahatmas, worship the Lord as Ekatvena Pratikvena. In other words, they accept the demigods as different parts of Krishna and worship them for various benedictions. Although the devotees of the demigods thus achieve the desired results offered by Krishna, they have been described in Bhagavad Gita as Kritajnana, not very intelligent. Krishna does not desire to be worshipped indirectly through the different parts of his body. Krishna wants direct devotional worship. Therefore, a devotee who directly worships Lord Krishna through staunch devotional service, as recommended in Srimad Bhagavatm, Ivre Bhakti Yogena Yateta Purusham Param, is very quickly elevated to the transcendental position. Nevertheless, devotees who worship the demigods, the different parts of the Lord, receive the benedictions they desire because the Lord is the original master of all benedictions. If anyone wants a particular benediction for the Lord, to award it is not at all difficult. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana
Chakshurunmilitam Yena
Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guraho Shri Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsa Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatham Tam Sariyo Sadvaitam Savadutam Niranjana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Radha Sagana Rita Shri Vishakanatam Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Krishnaya Bhutale Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatayini Kalpatarubhesha Kripa Sindhubhesha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Krishnaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatayini Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Hridayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namane Gaur Krishna हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधो जगत्पते गोपेश नमस्ते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे मुखं करोति वाचालं करोमि Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Welcome for our daily morning Srimad Bhagavatm discussion. So reading from this Canto 5, chapter 19, a description of the island of Jambudvipa, and text 26. Ye Shraddhaya Barishi Bhagasho Havi Niruttamishtam Vidimantra Vastutaha Ekapritan Navave Ahuto Muda Grinati Purna Swayamashisham Prabhu. Translation once again. In India, Bharatvarsha, there are many worshippers of the demigods. The various officials appointed by the Supreme Lord, such as Indra, Chandra, and Surya, all of whom are worshipped differently. The worshippers offer the demigods their oblations, considering the demigods part and parcel of the whole, the Supreme Lord. Therefore, the Supreme Personality of Godhead accepts these offerings and gradually raises the worshippers to the real standard of devotional service by fulfilling their desires and aspirations. Because the Lord is complete, He offers the worshippers the benedictions they desire, even if they worship only part of His transcendental body. So in this section we are seeing how the demigods are glorifying Bharatvarsha. So by taking birth in the Bharatvarsha, especially India, yesterday also was seen by Prabhuji very nicely describing how the inhabitants of this Bharatvarsha are very, very fortunate that they can render directly devotional service unto the Lord, pure devotional service, and attain the ultimate perfection. And also the few verses before will describing the most fortunate situation of the inhabitants of the Bharatvarsha. And in this particular verse, so where demigods are praying, even though there is a great opportunity to worship Krishna directly, exclusive devotional service, only to Krishna and no one else. But still, in Bharatvarsha, there are also other worshippers, those who worship the demigods, as is kept in this particular verse. So Prabhupada, purport, he writes, he'll not going directly goes to 9:30, Mahatmanas to Mahabharata. So Mahatmas are the ones who directly worship Krishna, exclusive, no demigod worship. So we see in the Bhagavad Gita also, in the 3rd chapter, so in the 2nd chapter where Krishna is telling you have to work with intelligence, in the 3rd chapter, 1st verse, where Arjuna is asking, if you're telling this intelligence is better, buddhi is better, why you're asking me to engage in this ghastly warfare? Then Krishna starts clarifying the doubts of Arjuna. So he's telling, see, even without working, one cannot live. One has to work. 3rd chapter, verse number 5. What is the verse? Steady now, just not steady. At least you have decided. नहीं कश्चित् क्षणमपि जातु तिष्ठति अकर्मकृत् कार्यते अवश्यः कर्म सर्व प्रकृतिधारि गुणैः. So anyone who takes birth in this material world, so they are bound by these 3 modes. So being bound by the 3 modes, one has to act. One is bound to act in any way. So silently one cannot sit. So one has to act. Even for the sustenance of the body, one has to act. That is in the 8th verse it says. But how to act? In the 9th verse, where Krishna is telling, Ekyata karma nomyatra lokoyam karma bandhana tadabdam karma kaunte mukta sangha samachara. So one has to work for the satisfaction of Krishna. That is called yajna. So this particular verse we will discuss for some time, and later we'll see some other topic, that is disappearance day of Mahesh Pandit, the starter. So we'll discuss about them also after this particular verse. So in the 10th verse, 3rd chapter, so where Krishna is telling, please repeat after me. Sahayagya prajasushva
Sayagyavrajasishta
Puro vacha prajapatihi
Guruvacha Prajapati
Anena prasavishyadvam
Anena Prasavishwasvam
Yeshavopista kamadaga.
Yeshavo Vishtakam.
So in the beginning of creation, the Lord of all creatures sent forth generations of men and demigods along with the sacrifices for Vishnu and blessed them by saying, be though happy by this yajna sacrifice, because its performance will bestow upon you everything desirable for living entities and achieve liberation. So in the 10th verse, 11th and 12th verse. So where Krishna is telling the performance of yajna. So he set forth all the human beings, all the living entities, and the demigods also. How the sustenance will happen in the whole material creation. So the process is like this. So all the human beings, so they have to perform sacrifices. So they have to worship demigods. So by these sacrifices, by this yajna, so demigods will be satisfied and there will be whatever necessities there for the living entities to sustain. So this the process is given. And one who is not following this process, they are known as Papa. They are sinful people. Yajnasishtoshinasanto muchyante sarva kilpishahi bhunjate te tvagam papa ekachat atmakarana. So one has to offer this foodstuff in sacrifice and then take it as prasada. If one is not following this cycle, in the 16th verse, what Krishna is telling. So Krishna tells, Evam pravartitam chakram nanuvarta yatiha agayur indriyaramo mogam partha sajivati. My dear Arjuna, one who does not follow in human life the cycle of sacrifice, what we discussed in the last few verses, established by the Vedas, certainly lead a life full of sin. If one is not following this, he is a sinful person. His life full of this sin. Living only for the satisfaction of the senses, such a person lives in vain. His whole life is wasted. That's what is telling. So one has to worship. To at least sustain themselves, one has to worship at least demigods to get in return whatever the needs are required. So that is what in the third of these few verses where Krishna is described. The reason to worship. And Krishna also fulfills all those desires who are worshipping these demigods. So in the purport, if you see, where Prabhupada is telling, so there are sometimes people are called Mahatmas who worship the Lord as Ekatvena Pratikvena. In other words, so basically these people have this understanding that Krishna is supreme, but these demigods are part and parcels. Because people in this material world has material desires, and to have that material desires, to fulfill those material desires, they worship these various part and parcels of the Lord. That is demigods, to get their desires fulfilled. Then it is also okay. But actual Mahatmas are the ones who worship directly, exclusively. So whatever they want, they just worship Krishna. If anyone worshipping Krishna indirectly through the demigods, so they are known as less intelligent person. As told by Krishna in Bhagavad Gita, which verse? Kamasteste jnana prapadyante anya devata tam tam niyamamastaya prakritya niyata swaya. So with jnana, so these less intelligent people, so these less intelligent people are full of obsessed with the material desires. And since they have material desires to be fulfilled, they worship these demigods. And Krishna is telling, so these worshippers are less intelligent people. And even if they worship and they get their desires fulfilled, but who is fulfilling those desires also? Who is sanctioning those desires also? That is Krishna only. In 722 verse, Sataya Shraddaya Yuktas Tasya Aradhana Mihate Lavate Cha Tata Kama Vayeva Bhitantha. Endowed with such a faith that he endeavors to worship a particular demigod and obtains his desires. But in actuality, the benefits are bestowed by me alone. Even though they are worshipping demigods, their desires are fulfilled by Krishna only, not by these demigods. So Prabhupada is telling in the purport, then why don't you worship directly Krishna only? So whatever you want to get fulfilled, either material desire or spiritual desire, just worship Krishna. So no need to worship any other personality. But not everyone can be in this platform of worshipping Krishna. So that's why everyone are in the different modes. So everyone cannot come to the worship, exclusive worship of Krishna. So that's why we have various Puranas and various demigods. Even though when you're in good ignorance or in the passion, no problem. So according to there are Puranas. So there are Puranas which are in the mode of goodness, which are in the mode of passion, which are in the mode of ignorance. So people are not able to come to the exclusive worship of Krishna. No worries. So you can worship even the demigods also. So by worshipping demigods in a proper way, what happens? They also will get elevated. So in the translation we see, that is what the shloka says. Therefore, the Supreme Personality of Godhead accepts those offerings and gradually raise their worshippers to the real standard of devotional service. So there is no wrong in worshipping demigods. But if you are not qualified to worship, if you are not able to stage to come to the exclusive worship of Krishna, so there is no problem. So one can be elevated. But one should know what is the philosophy. That these demigods are part and parcel of Krishna only. So that should be no. At all, if one is thinking that these demigods are the supreme Lord, then that is a wrong thought process. Then they are known as partialities or atheists. So the right mood, understanding that Krishna is supreme and these demigods are part and parcels, with that understanding, worship is one is worshipping demigods, that is okay. Then Krishna helps them to come to the highest standard of giving them direct devotional service of Krishna only. So one has to worship only Krishna. Tivrena bhakti yogena yajeta purusham param. So this particular shloka says. What is full verse? How it starts? Akama sarvakama moksha kama avtarini tivrena bhakti yogena yajeta purusham param. So tivra bhakti, intense bhakti. So whatever desire one may have. So whatever the desires one can have.
Shloka.
Shloka.
Artha.
तो अर्थात जिज्ञासु
ज्ञान.
ज्ञानी. So what are the desires? I'm asking. Generally, people what desires of people have, or even sadhakas have.
They want money,
Money,
fame.
fame. What else?
Desire to enjoy.
Enjoy the material world. Lord it over the material vision in Prabhupada's terms. Desire to get more money. Desire to get fame. What are the desires? Desire to get nice prasad. So like this many desires, material desires. So if one is frustrated with this material desires, finally think about liberation. There is no enjoyment in this world. So let me get out of this material world. So then he will think about liberation. One who is done with the both. There is no happiness in the material world also, there is no happiness in the impersonal Brahmajyoti also. The only happiness is in the lotus feet of Krishna. So I want to attain Krishna only. So whatever desire one may have, someone has to worship only Krishna. Because Krishna is capable of fulfilling all the desires. That is what the shloka says now from Katha Upanishad. Nityo nityanam chetanas chetananam eko bhavanam yo vidadati kama. So Krishna is the one who can fulfill the desires of all the living entities. So if we have any desires, we have to exclusively worship only Krishna. And no one else. And that is what we have seen in the Bhagavatam also. Where the devotees went for material desires. Krishna fulfilled also and also purified their heart. Any one example? Famous example which we know. Dhruva Maharaj. That's it. So Dhruva Maharaj in the fourth canto it comes the description about Dhruva Maharaj. So Dhruva Maharaj was trying to sit on the lap of his father and he sat also. Later, his stepmother came. Stepmother's name is
Suruchi.
Suruchi or
Suruchi.
Paka? Yeah. Suruchi came and he grabbed the hand of Dhruva, let him down, and told, "You cannot sit on your father's lap. If at all you have to sit on your father's lap, you have to take birth from my womb, and then you can get this opportunity." So there also it is. If at all you want to get it, you have to die first and worship the Supreme Lord. By His mercy, you can get this. So there, Sriji also, even though she is materialist, she is telling this. You have to worship only Krishna, the Supreme Lord. So later he was very saddened and he went to his mother, actual mother, and he cried out everything. Then she told, "I cannot do anything, I have to worship Lord Vishnu, who can fulfill the desires of every living being." So I heard that all the great sages go to forest. You find Vishnu there, you please go there and do it. And as told by his mother, so he went to the forest. And we know the whole story, how Narada came and instructed Dhruva Maharaj how to worship the Supreme Lord. It's a very nice description you can go through. Very nice austerities. So he would eat only once, sometimes only fruits, leaves. So after a few days he left that also. He was just drinking water. After that he left that also. He just taking breath. Once it always I think. That's it. He would completely in the meditation of the Lord. 6 months. Such a huge tapas he has done, such a great austerity. So with this breathing exercises, you could control the whole air of the whole universe. So because of that, the whole universe getting choked up, not being able to take the breath. Then all the demigods along with Brahma, they go to the Lord Vishnu and ask what's happening. Then the Lord will tell, "No worries, is the great austerity being done by my dear devotee Dhruva Maharaj. So I'll go and pass by, you don't worry, you don't go." Then Lord comes. When Vishnu comes and uses darshan. But after taking darshan of the Lord, then he'll tell, "No, I don't want anything, oh Lord." But it is, "Okay, since you asked, I have to fulfill the desire." Then he fulfilled the desire that he'll get a greater kingdom than his own great grandfather, Dhruva Loka. He got it. So in this way, you can see in Dhruva Maharaj, he has the material desire. But it got fulfilled by the Lord. Because he has done exclusive devotion service, worshipping only Krishna. So his desires also got fulfilled and he got purified also. Of course, our philosophy is rendering pure devotion service. We should not have any material desire. But if at all we have, we can worship the Lord. In the process, what happens? So the process itself is so potent. So while doing the devotion service, whatever material desires we have, everything will be purified. It may be fulfilled also if Lord wants. But most importantly, our desires will be purified. Basically, we'll get rid of these material desires. So that is why this sloka was mentioned. Akama sarva kama moksha kama udariti tivrena bhakti yogya vijayate purusham. So there is a lot of logic in this. Just worship Krishna only. Because Krishna is all pure. Shuddham apapa vidya. So sin cannot touch him and Shuddham is all pure. So anyone who comes in touch with Krishna, who is all pure, one also becomes pure. And how to come in touch with Krishna? Through the process of devotion service. Now with the bhakti especially. Then if you want more variety, so Sri Rupa Goswami gives 64 rangas of bhakti. So if you take any process of bhakti, very sincerely, in fact, we have to say all 64 rangas of bhakti. So we should not be more pestered about this. Okay, I have a lot of material desires. It's okay, no problem. But the thing is, we have to worship Krishna only. So the process of devotion service. So with the time, our hearts gets cleansed. And there's a transformation which we all have seen. So we have connected to ISKCON, started practicing bhakti. So we have, before connecting to ISKCON, even after getting connected to ISKCON, to the society, started practicing bhakti. Still we have a lot of desires at that time. But comparatively we see our aspirations, our ambitions reduced. By what? Shravan Kirtan, the process of bhakti. And it's not that I don't have any desire right now. Still I have right now. Few are there still. But still what should be done? just continue the process of bhakti. By just continue the process of bhakti, that is in connection with Krishna, our hearts will be purified. And ultimately, we have to come to the platform of rendering pure devotion service. Anyavilashita shunyam jnana karmadyanavrutam anugulyena krishnanu shrilanam bhakti uttamam. So this is called uttama bhakti. That is rendering pure devotion service. Anya avilashita shunyam. So no material desires, no karma jnana, no siddhi also that includes. Because whatever material desires one may have, even after getting fulfilled, but still a devotee will not be completely satisfied. That is what the same case happened with Dhruva Maharaj also. See, got what he wanted. So after the whole pastime, Lord left and is going back to the kingdom. So while on the way, he was feeling so bad. Why did I ask? Why did I have this material desire? He was completely frustrated with this. So in the particular verses, Shukdev Goswami also mentions, if at all anyone has this material desires, one has to be frustrated at the end. Even though it's getting fulfilled. Because there is no satisfaction in these material things. The only satisfaction is there in the service of the Lord. And that is what Bhagavatam says, 1 to 6. What is the verse? Yes, after telling number of times in this in the classes. So it gets in the way. Savai pumsam paro dharmo yato bhakti yadokshaje ahaituki apratihata yayapna suprasidati. Savai pumsam paro dharmo yato bhakti yadokshaje. So the paro dharma is worshipping adokshaja. And how to worship? Ahaituki apratihata. So there should not be any motive behind it. And should be done continuously, 24 hours. So when one does this ahaituki and apratihata bhakti, only one gets that suprasidati, or the complete satisfaction in the heart. Or else there is no other way of getting fulfilled, of this complete fulfillment of the heart. One cannot be satisfied. So coming to this verse, so it's mentioning one can worship. There are people who worship these demigods and get their needs whatever is fulfilled. So generally, if you see anything we take from this material world, we are indebted to it. Correct? So in one time, in one class, Prabhuji also mentioning this particular point. So we are hearing some bird chirping very nicely, and we are hearing that and we are relishing it. It means that we are indebted to it. We are relishing that. We are indebted to it. So like this, we are indebted to many, many personalities in the whole world. So first of all, we are indebted to the demigods, especially as mentioned in Shloka, Surya, Chandra, Indra. So Indra is the one who gives rains, and Chandra is the one who gives that soothing atmosphere in the night. So because of him, the photosynthesis happens. The plants, fruits gives the juices. And because of sunlight, everything is going on in the whole world. So we're indebted to all these great demigods. Any other personalities whom we are indebted to?
Forefathers.
Hmm?
Our forefathers.
Our forefathers and parents are the most important people. They are the one who gave birth to us. Mother kept us 10 months, 10 months in the womb. Got through that labor pain and gave us birth. We ended up with our parents. Yes. Who else?
Lord.
Ultimately the Lord, yes. Keeping Lord as it.
Rishis.
Rishis. How?
We got scriptures and everything. They are so
Okay, we got scriptures, we are there. Who else we are indebted to? Prabhupada. Okay. Yes, he's also an acharya indebted to them. Who else we are indebted to? Not connected to devotional service. Material and speaking. Material, who else we are indebted to? Rishis is up. The demigods are done. Parents are done. Ancestors are done. Who else we are indebted to? Parents means the father. Eating.
We are indebted to everybody, Prabhuji.
Farmers, okay, we're indebted to farmers because without them, where we get food? So where we get ingredients? Where cooks will also cook. Yeah,
We are indebted to everyone.
everyone, okay?
Every living entity.
Sum and total, everyone. Okay? Means I'm asking the classification. Everyone are there. We can divide and discuss. Who else were indebted?
Shloka. Both of them.
Yes. Tell the story. I'm waiting for the story. It's 11:5:41. So Shloka says, who and all we are indebted to. So please read after me. Devashri Bhutaptarinam Pritrinam
देवर्षिभूताप्तपितां पितॄणां
Na Kinkaro Nayam Vrinecha Rajan
न किं करोति राजन्
Sarvatmanaya Sharanam Sharanyam
सर्वात्मनाय शरणं शरण्यं
Tato Mukundam Parihritya Kartam.
ततो मुकुन्द परिहृत्य
So
कर्तम्
this shloka says to whom and all we are indebted to. So first starts with Deva, to the demigods. Next Rishis. And Bhuta, ordinary living entities. Apta, that is friends and relatives. Nrinam, of ordinary men. Pitrinam, of the forefathers. So these are the various people we are indebted to. So definitely friends and relatives we are indebted to. For sure. They would have helped something in our life. They would have especially given us emotional satisfaction for us. So when we are in the sadness, they are the ones who solace us. No problem, take care of it. Everything will be okay. They are giving us emotional satisfaction for us. So in this way, we are indebted to this great, all these personalities in this whole world. So how to repay them? So that is the question mark. And how much we are indebted to, any count is there? At least when we don't pay the current bill, we'll get it. Prabhuji, now generally we have the SS left 3,000, 5,000 something. After coming, so many operations are going on. Say every month the bill is minimum 10,000. It's minimum. Last month is 15,000. So if you're not paying bill, that bill person will come. Sir, 15,000 last month you didn't pay. He'll tell us there is an account. So we know the account and we can pay it the next time. But these personalities, is there any account? This much are indebted to, so I have to get it back, I have to repay them back in this much. No, we don't. Because in this life only we don't. What about the previous lives? What about the more lifetimes? We have taken unlimited lives. So it's mentioned that in the Ganga water, we can see that sand. If you take sand in our tank, so can we count the number of sand particles in it? Definitely not. Similarly, we have taken so many birds in this material. And we cannot count them. Unlimited birds we have taken. And in unlimited birds, we have indebted to these unlimited personalities. So we had unlimited debt. And if we are not able to repay them, we are bound in the cycle of birth and death. Again, we have to take birth again. Again, we are indebted to some other personalities. To repay the previous personalities, we have to take birth. And when you have to take birth to the few more personalities, we will be indebted again. So the cycle of repaying and in debt will keep on increasing more and more. So where is the question of breakage for this? So where we can find the ultimate solution of clearing full all the debts? So there is shloka, yes. Sarvatmanaya Sharanam Sharanyam Gato Mukundam Parihritya Kartam. Since all such class of living entities, what we discussed, Deva, Rishi, Apta, Prinam, since all such class of living entities are part and parcels of the Supreme Lord, one who has surrendered to the Lord's service has no need to serve such persons separately. Since all these personalities are part and parcel of the Supreme Lord only, if we just take shelter of the Lord, if we just worship the Supreme Lord Krishna, all these debts were taken care of. Simple short Krishna. Same thing is mentioned in one other verse also. Remember? In fourth canto it comes.
What is the question?
Hmm?
What is it?
Same sloka. So if we just worship, all these people are part and parcel of the Supreme Lord. And when we just worship Krishna, all these depths are there.
Yatadaru.
Sloka number?
Fourth canto.
Yes. Fourth canto, chapter 31, verse number 14. यथा तरोर्मूलनिषेचनेन
यथा तरोर्मूलनिशेषणेन
तृप्यन्ति तस्कन्दभुजोऽपि शाखा
तृप्यन्ति तस्कन्दभुजो शाखा
प्राणोपहाराचयतेन्द्रियाणाम्
प्राणोपहारशेन्द्रियाणां
तथैव सर्वाहरमच्युतेज्य
अच्युतेज
तथैव
Yateva
सर्वाहरम् अच्युतेज्य.
अच्युतेज.
So here two analogies are given. So first thing is the tree is taken. So for the tree, so there are fruits, there are leaves, there are branches. So all these branches, fruits, leaves, twigs, everything is part and parcel of the root. But to grow them more and more, so should we water them separately? No, just to pour water at the roots. By just watering the roots, all the part and parcels of the roots are fulfilled, all the satisfied, and they grow various, they are nourished. Now one may ask, what is the problem in doing separately? You do this also, you do that also. Pour the water at the roots and pour water at the branches also, leaves also. One may ask question. So to justify this, the second analogy is given. So what is that? So to satisfy the stomach, we have to feed through the mouth only. So we cannot give food to the mouth also, through the ears also, through the eyes also, through the nose also. We cannot give food. Of course, when you are being operated, various ways are given through your tubes. In general condition, it's not. So we can feed the stomach, belly, through the mouth only. So not through the other ways. So to repay all the debts to whom we are indebted to in the whole world, from time immemorial, we can just worship the lotus feet of Lord Sri Krishna. Exclusively. And how to do it? Ahaituki apratihata. So 24 hours without any stoppage, without any cessation. If one worships or takes the shelter of the Supreme Lord Krishna, all the debts are cleared. And one can break the cycle of birth and death and attain the ultimate perfection of going back home, back to God. And that is what this particular sloka in our discussion is mentioned. Just take up exclusive devotional service of the Supreme Lord. So no need to worship any other personalities in this world. Just the Supreme Lord Krishna. So this is the essence of the whole sloka. And today is the disappearance day of Mahesh Pandit and Uddhana Thakur. I tried my best to find information about these personalities, which I have never heard before. So tried to do little research, and I would like to share a little bit. So these are the disappearance days, and of course in Gaudiya Vaishnava Parampara, so appearance day and disappearance day both are glorious. So appearance day, so all these great Vaishnavas come to deliver the fallen conditioned souls, to give us the intense process of bhakti. And when they disappear, it also means they disappear from this material world and they go to the Nitya Leela of the Lord. So both are auspicious only. So it's very nice to discuss about these great personalities and purify ourselves. So about Mahesh Pandit, so it's mentioned in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adi Leela, 11th chapter, verse number 32. Mahesh Pandita Brajera Udara Gopala Dakavade Nityakare Prema Mata Yola. So the 11th chapter of this Adi Leela, so the chapter title, the expansions of Lord Nityananda. Basically it's mentioned, the expansion is So from Nityananda, the whole parampara started. Nityananda Vamsha. So in that Vamsha comes even Mahesh Pandit. So here, Krishna Das Kaviraj Goswami describes all the personalities coming in the line of Nityananda Prabhu. So in that, in the 32nd verse, it's mentioned about this personality, Mahesh Pandit. So Nityananda Prabhu Balram, he has a Dwadasha Gopal. So his friends, 12 Gopal friends. So amongst them, one of them is Mahesh Pandit. He comes, he's there in the Vrindavan also. Now in the Chaitanya Leela, he comes again. So Mahesh Pandit, the seventh of the 12 Gopalas, among the 12 Dwadasha, 12 Gopalas, Mahesh Pandit was the 12th person, seventh person. He was very liberal. In great love of Krishna, he danced to the beating of a kettle drum like a madman. So basically, whenever there is kirtan would go on, Hare Krishna mantra, he would dance in ecstasy. In the Purport, so Prabhupada writes, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Thakur writes in his Anubhashya, the village of Mahesh Pandit, which is known as Palapada. So the village where Mahesh Pandit used to live is known as Palapada, which is in the district of Nadia. A little more description is given about him. According to Gaur Ganodesh Deepika, Mahesh Pandit was formerly Mahabahushaka. In Krishna Leela, one Gopal, his name is Mahabahushaka in Krishna Leela. He was a companion of Nityananda Prabhu and was present at Danta Mahotsav held at Panihati. Danta Mahotsav? Shidadai Festival. For whom the punishment is given there? Raghunathas Goswami. So in that pastime, so even Mahesh Pandit was also there at that time. In Bhakti Ratnakar, Taranga 9, it is stated that when Narottam Das Thakur came to visit Kardaha, he had darshan of the lotus feet of Mahesh Pandit. So Narottam Das Thakur, when he came, he could take the darshan of Mahesh Pandit there. Vrindavan Das Thakur has described him as a Parama Mahanta due to the fact that he was very dear to Nityananda Prabhu. This is one of the very dearmost associate of Nityananda Prabhu. So that's why Vrindavan Das Thakur tells him as Parama Mahanta, great soul. And it's mentioned in Chaitanya Bhagavat Antya Leela 5:744. And his disappearance is today, 13th day of bright fortnight in the month of Pausha Masha. And wherever, so when Nityananda Prabhu goes for preaching activities, so wherever he goes, he takes Mahesh Pandit along. So such a great role is Mahesh Pandit. He's always there with Nityananda Prabhu, always there. And in the Vrindavan, so there is a Chaushat Samadhi Mandir, so in front of a Govinda Dev temple. So there all the associates, 64 associates of Mahaprabhu, so all their samadhis were there in front of Govinda Ji Mandir. So among the 64 samadhis, even Mahesh Pandit Samadhi is also one of them. He is also there. So there is a little description about Mahesh Pandit. And a little more description is there about Srila Uddharan Datta Thakur. In the same chapter 11, verse 41, speaks about this. Mahabhagavata Shrestha Datta Uddharana Sarva Bhave Sevya Nityanandera Charana. So among the Dwadasha Gopal, Mahesh Pandit is which how? 7th. And Uddharan Datta Thakur is the 11th person, 11th Gopal. He was an exalted devotee of Lord Nityananda Prabhu. He worshipped the lotus feet of Lord Nityananda in all respects. In Brajalila, Uddharananda Thakur is Subahu. His name is Subahu. And his actual name was Divakar Datta. After initiation, he got the name Uddharan Datta Thakur. And he got initiated personally by Nityananda Prabhu. And his father name is Shrikar Datta. And mother name is Bhadravati. And his surname is also given Srinivas Datta. And he was born and stayed in a gram called Saptagrama. So there are some 7 gramas are there. They are together known as Saptagrama. And these are Vasudevapura, Vanishadevya, Krishnapura, Nityanandapura, Shivapura, Shankangara, and Saptagrama. So all these three together are known as Saptagrama. So it's mentioned that if anyone takes darshan or visits there or even remembers this Saptagrama, their life will be delivered. Because this great soul was born over there. And this Saptagrama, this Sapta Rishis have come and did tapasya over there. And he got initiation in Margashish Masa on Saptami. Prabhupada gives an elaborate purport upon this. Can you display it? Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adi Lila. Verse 41.
Chapter?
Adi Lila, chapter 11.
44.
41.
41.
Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur writes in his Anubhasya, the Gaur Kanoj Desh Devika 129 states that Uddharadatta Thakur was formerly the cowherd boy of renowned name Subahu. Uddharadatta Thakur, previously known as Sri Uddharadatta, was a resident of Saptagrama, which is situated on the banks of Saraswati River near the Trishabhiga railway station in the district of Hooghly. At the time, Uddharadatta Thakur, Saptagram was a very big town, encompassing many other places such as Vasudevapura, Vanshabhedya, Krishnapuram, Nityanandapura, Shivapura, Shankanagara, then Saptagram. Calcutta was developed under British rule by the influential merchant community and especially by the Suvarnavanik community who came down from Saptagram to establish their business and homes all over Calcutta. So very important purpose which we discuss now. They were known as the Saptagrami merchant community of Calcutta. And most of them belonged to the Mulik and Sil families. More than half of Calcutta belonged to this community, as did Srila Uddharan Thakur. Our paternal family, so Prabhupada is telling here, our paternal family also came from this district and belonged to the same community. The Muliks of Calcutta are divided into two families, namely the Sil family and Dey family. All the Muliks of the Dey family originally belonged to the same family and Gotra. We also formerly belong to the branch of Dey family, whose members, intimately connected with the Muslim rulers, received the title Mulik. So even Prabhupada also belongs to the same family. He's coming in the same line of Uddharadatta. In the Chaitanya Bhagavatam, Antyakanda chapter 5, it is said that Uddharadatta was an extremely elevated and liberal Vaishnava. He was born with the right to worship Nityananda Prabhu. It is also stated that Nityananda Prabhu, after staying for some time with Khadadaha, came to Saptagrama and stayed in the house of Uddharadatta. The Suvarnavani community to which Uddharadatta belonged was actually a Vaishnava community. Its members were bankers and gold merchants. Suvarna means gold and Manik means merchant. Long ago, there was a misunderstanding between Balal Sena and Suvarnavani community because of the great banker Gauri Sena. Balal Sena was taking loans from Gauri Sena and spending money extravagantly, and therefore Gauri Sena stopped supplying money. Balal Sena took revenge by instigating a social conspiracy to make the Suvarnavaniks outcast, and since then they have been ostracized from the higher caste, namely the Brahmanas, Kshatriyas and Vaishyas. By the grace of Srila Nityananda Prabhu, the Suvarnavani community was again elevated. It is said in the Chaitanya Bhagavat, Yatika Vanika Kula Uddarana Haite Pavitra Hoila Dvidana Hika Vihate. There is no doubt that all the community members of the Suvarnavajik society were again purified by Nityananda Prabhu. So there was a story behind this. So there was a king named Ballal Sena. He was a great pious king, and he would do Godan, so when to the Brahmanas very frequently. He would do this Godan. And these goats are very special. And these cows, how they are special? These cows are made by gold. So he would make this gold cows and he would distribute to Brahmanas. He would donate to Brahmanas. So like this what happened, so he would distribute to many Brahmanas. So one day one Brahmana, what he did is, he sold out one gold cow to this one community, Suvarnavalik. So Suvarnavalik gold merchants is what? Whatever the item you give, so they will cut it, melt it, and make into some jewelry and sell it. So this person sold that, this Brahmana, one Brahman sold this gold cow to a Suvarna community. So at that time, one person who want to melt it, right, they would cut it and melt it. So when he cut that gold cow, blood came out. Blood oozed out after cutting this. And news spread everywhere. Everyone got to know. Even the king got to know. So king was already very pious. So when he would donate these gold cows, his thought is like this only. These are not actually gold, they're real cows. And when he got to know this was the thing happened by this Suvarna, he was very angry and he declared. So he wants to abandon the whole Suvarnavani community. So because of this act. So he declared in the whole kingdom, these people are not Shudras. So they should be abandoned. So from that time, they were known as Shudras only. They were fallen souls. So in which Uttara Tattva is also part of it. But how now they are fallen? And but Uttara Tattva is a great associate of Nityananda. And Nityananda is now best known for elevating the fallen souls. The community is fallen. How Nityananda Prabhu elevates this community? So there is a little story. So just like Narottam Das Tagore, when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, so before the appearance of Narottam, so he went to the Padmavati river and he was chanting, Narottam, Narottam, Narottam. So at that time Narottam was not born. So there's a description comes. How Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was thinking about Narottam who will come in the future near Padmavati river. So similar thing happened about Uddhana also. But here Nityananda Prabhu. So Nityananda Prabhu, he was shouting one day, Uddharan Datta, Uddharan Datta, Uddharan Datta Thakur. But at that time, he was born only. So his name was previously, what is actually Divakar Datta. Uddharan Datta, then Divakar Datta becomes. He falls on the feet of Nityananda Prabhu and surrenders. So at that time, Nityananda Prabhu gives his name. You are not Divakar Datta, now you are from today onwards you are known as Uddharan Datta Thakur. So why this name was given Uddharan Datta? The name itself is Uddhara, one who elevates. So Uddharan Datta, with this deep, intense devotional service and preaching activities, it is mentioned that he delivered the whole community of his Suvarnavali community. He was intensely preaching. So that's why he was even given the name as Uddharan Datta Thakur. And in Bhakti Ratnakar, it's also mentioned that Janavama, who is Janavama? Consort or wife of Nityananda Prabhu. So before the birth of Uddharan Datta Thakur, Janavama visited the house of Uddharan Datta Thakur when parents were staying. And then she blessed both the pair, husband and wife, that you may get a great soul, the associate of Balram in your house. So by the blessings of Janavama, Uddharan was taken birth in here. And Uddharan Datta Thakur married at 24, at the age of 24. But So within a short period of time, his wife also was died. But he is not ready for second marriage. Now in the present day people do. But Uttarananda Thakur, after the demise of his wife, he was completely dedicated to Nityananda Prabhu's mission. And he was intensely preaching and doing his bhajan. And later, so even it's mentioned that even Nityananda Prabhu also visited the house of Uttaran Thakur and he would do kirtans, full day kirtan in the house of Uttaran Thakur. And now, according to that thing, the story king, he abandoned, he declared all this Suvarna Varnik community is 11 Shudras. So they declared, then everyone accepted that also. Now, how did Nityananda Prabhu elevated this community? So one day what happened? So Nityananda Prabhu told all the at that one time. So he told the devotees, he called all the brahmanas, and told the brahmanas to make a nice book, a feast for all the devotees in one occasion. At that time, Nityananda called Uttarananda Thakur also. He also joined the party in making bhoga. But he called only brahmanas. But he also came. And brahmanas don't know that Nityananda Prabhu called Uttarananda Thakur. And brahmanas, after looking at him, they shouted at him, "What are you doing here? You are a Shudra. So you cannot be here. So you cannot be cooking here. We are brahmanas, you are Shudra." No. So at that time, Nityananda kills all the brahmanas. In fact, all the villages surrounding them. So this Udaharan that he is my associate. So wherever I go, my Udaharan also will come along with me. He is my associate. Not just he delivers the whole community. So then Nityananda Prabhu declares, he is not a Shudra, he is a great associate of the Lord Nityananda. He is a great pure Vaishnava. From then, everyone accepted. And he told all the villages around that you all please take shelter of Uttarananda Thakur. Nityananda Prabhu ordered everyone to take shelter of Uttarananda Thakur. Sometimes we also get this doubt, especially in Islam. Now, Nityananda Prabhu is personally there, and Nityananda Prabhu is ordering everyone to take shelter of his devotee, not me directly, because Nityananda Prabhu is going everywhere in this. We cannot develop it. Same case in Islam also follows like that. So all of us want to have the association approach, initiate spiritual knowledge. But we may not, because there will be different places keep on reaching. So what they say is, so wherever we are, if we are able to serve our local authorities properly, so they are peace. So what happens is, for instance, Gopal Krishna Goswami Maharaj, he can definitely get it. So one of his disciples was asking, Maharaj, I want to serve you. I want to be associate. What to do? How can I serve you better? Something related to this, yeah. The Maharaj told, you where do you live? You stay here in this temple, very good. You serve the president of this temple. If you are serving the president of this temple, then you are serving him. So it's a very important lesson to be learned. So sometimes you may get the direct associates well and good. If not, no problem. If you are serving the servants of the Lord or his associates, we are in the light, we are in the path. So there is no problem with it. You have to become dasa, 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 dasa. So that is our life. That is what even Mahaprabhu tells. Naham vipro na cha narapati, napi vaishyo na sudro, naham varni na cha grihapati, na vanasto gadirva, kintu prodhyam nitila paramavrutam de, gopi bhattu padakamalayon, dasa dasa anudasa. If you ask Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Mahaprabhu, who are you? The Mahaprabhu is telling, Naham Vipro Nacha Narapati, Napi Vaishyo Na Shudra. I am not Brahmana, I am not Kshatriya, neither Shudra, neither Brahmana, nor Vaishya. Okay, are you Grahastha? Are you a sannyasi? You are in the saffron robes. Then he said, no, I am not sannyasi also, I am not Grahastha also. I am not brahmachari also. Then what are you? Gopi Bhattu Padakamalayo Dasa Dasa Dasanga. Express Dasa is provided, but actually. So I should have this mood. I am a servant of the Lord. So that is the perfection. The more devotees we have on our top, the more we are getting closer to Krishna. Just like we want to see some far object from us, and we have some telescope, something object like this. So how to get a clear vision of the object which is far away from us? What do we do? We add more glasses in it. The more glasses we add, the more clear the picture will be. So another devotee is giving another example. When you do Gautam Parikrama, so only few devotees are there in a group. And some devotees far away, 1-2 kilometers away in your back. How do you follow? You cannot follow it. We don't know. Let's say just there are one devotee just before you, just 10 meters, 100 meters away from you. So you can easily identify and can easily follow him. And you can think that you're in the right path only. Because he is following his superior. He is very close to you. And he is following his superior. So in this way, if we follow the path very nicely, who by basically following our superior, so we are in the line of Parampara. So this is what even Nityananda Prabhu is telling. All the villages there. We want to take shelter of your Nityananda. Then Nityananda is declaring, surrender to my devotee Uttaranda Shastra. And with his devotional service, with his preaching mood, Uttaranda Shastra delivered the whole, all the villages over there. So in this way, we have to take the shelter of the devotees of the Lord. In this way, we get elevated or get perfection in our life. Because a little bit which I could research and discuss about Mahesh Pandit and Uttaranda Shastra. More discussions are there, I don't get the time to discuss more discussions. Because we are seeing from the verse how there are in the Bhagavatm there are worshippers of demigods are also there. And we are seeing how important it is, how we are indebted to, in fact, many personalities, not just in life, many lives, we are indebted to many personalities. So how to repay that? By doing exclusive devotion service unto the Supreme Lord Krishna, who is like a root, and all the personalities of this world are just parts of this root. You have to serve Krishna, you have to water the root. Similarly, you have to serve Krishna by just having exclusive devotion service unto Krishna. How? Ahayatuti Abharyata. 24 hours without any motive. If we just do devotion, we can repay all the debts with all the personalities in this world and break the cycle of birth and death and attain perfection. And later we have seen the two great personalities, Mahesh Pandit and Tasdanta, how they are very close associates of Balram or Nityananda Prabhu. So by serving the Vaishnavas, we can attain perfection. With this, I would like to conclude. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Hope there are no questions. Yeah.